Hey, welcome to another edition of Dan's Models. This is John sitting with Dan, and we're looking at an HO scale model of a tunnel motor.
Yeah.
Actually, is this the one that was part of the lash up on the DCC run-by video?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. No wonder it looked somewhat familiar.
Yeah, this is an Athearn tunnel motor, one of the newer ready-to-roll release ones that I worked on. Did a lot of the same kind of detailing to this one as I did on the one that's on our HO weathering and detailing series on diesels.
Yeah, that's volume 4, I think.
Yeah, that was an SP unit that I actually showed as an example on that video, but pretty much, you know, with certain small detail differences, all the same things that I did to that unit I did to this one. So, which includes... I put new dynamic brake fans on it because I didn't like the ones it came with, even though they were see-through. These are Canon fans.
I was going to say, let me guess, Canon, right?
Yeah. You know, the Canon parts aren't new anymore, but they're still some of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
They really are.
And you know, we use Canon cameras too. Well, I do.
Yeah, that's a different
and that's a different group, right? Different company, but
yeah.
But there's something about Canon. It's a lucky name.
Yeah. There's a lot of other details on it too, so we can kind of take a look at some of that.
Yeah, one thing we're going to have to look at for sure are the trucks, because I can tell from here that they look exquisite.
Yeah, I added brake lines and some other details. Actually, these, if I remember right, this one has the Rio Grande units had the proportional tracking control, I think they called it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Well, basically on one side of each truck, there's like extra cabling running to the axles.
I think it's on this side because I see a bunch of stuff on the trucks. So
so I did all that too.
Let's look up close at some of this stuff.
Okay.
So we're looking at the, let's see, this is the engineer side back truck.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. Look at all that stuff in there.
Yeah, the cabling was done with fine brass wire. I did that because it holds its shape, so I don't have to actually attach it to the underside of the sill. You know, the real ones, it would be some kind of a cable, but so I just tried to bend the brass wire to make it look like cable. And they have to be cut a little bit short of the sill so that the truck can pivot without getting hung up on things.
Yeah, that's kind of a precise thing, you know, that if you don't get it right, it'll either show up under the sill or impede the the turning. Or
I don't know if it would impede the turning of the truck, but it would probably knock it off. You know, because the parts it's pretty fine wire. I also added brake lines on all the trucks as well. So, and of course painted the wheel faces and did some weathering.
So the Fireman side front truck.
Yeah.
Again, this is, I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same kind of things, except this one also has a brake chain that I added with some little 40 link per inch chain.
Yeah, that's a real chain there.
It is. Yeah,
it's cool.
It's the same chain that I use for the front and rear handrails.
Right.
The little gap in the handrails where they put a chain.
I remember seeing that before on other models.
Yeah, yeah. That's about the smallest chain I've been able to find is 40 links per inch. So,
does it scale right? I mean, is it pretty close to what they use?
I think it's close. It might be a little oversized, actually, but
it looks cool. Whatever it is, right?
It looks good. It looks good. That's what really counts.
Yeah.
I detailed the fuel tank area quite a bit too. Toward the back here, there's a little tiny pipe that runs down the side.
Yeah, I see that.
So I had to fabricate that out of brass wire. I also did a lot of detailing on the air reservoirs. They are the original air reservoirs, but I put some extra details like the piping and some of the plumbing and stuff on those.
Yeah, isn't there like a moisture ejector or something like that?
I used
vaguely remember from the
some Details West parts on them.
Yeah,
to enhance the appearance, and of course up the front there's a rail frog suspended under the sill. So, did some work on that area. So I did quite a bit of work on the pilots on these two.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I added all the MU hoses and all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure this is not a unit that came with uncoupling levers. Some of the Athearn tunnel motors do and some didn't. So I had to do my own. I also changed the snowplow.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because it doesn't look like a stock part.
No, it's a Details West part. The plastic snowplows that come with a lot of engines just don't usually look very good for some reason. I usually end up changing them.
Those are little metal pieces, aren't they?
Yeah, these are white metal castings that I
Thought
painted.
so.
I also put the Canon walkway tread kit on this engine.
You did that to the Southern Pacific one too.
Right. It really helps the appearance quite a bit. So I didn't have to do as much work to the Rio Grande cab as I did on some of the SP units, because Rio Grande units had more of a standard cab, and the lights were basically in the right places on this one.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and I didn't, like on the SP tunnel motor that's on the video, I actually took off some of the lights because it was its 1990s appearance, so it didn't have its gyro light anymore. That kind of thing.
I remember you added some plates over those, didn't you?
Yeah. 5371 actually was the last tunnel motor that UP retired. I think it's now in a museum. Later in its career, it lost its gyro light also. But I have a picture of it in, I think it was 1994, where the gyro light was still on it. So that was good enough for me. I decided to leave it. So I think it looks better with it on it.
I was going to say that. It looks better. So 94, 93, whatever.
Yeah.
95, it's good.
Yeah. Actually, I think I found a picture of it in 95 where it was removed. So I kind of had to toss a coin there. But
you did the right thing.
Yeah. I decided I liked it better with it on. So I left it on.
Let's turn off some of these lights. You can show it.
Yeah. All right. So all the lights on this engine are done with LEDs and fiber optics.
Dan style.
Yeah, that's pretty much my standard method now. I like it for a couple of reasons. One is that you can leave all the lenses in the shell, and if you have to change the LED for any reason, you don't need to mess with the detailing, because the light source is not embedded in the light casting.
Right.
So anyway, there's the headlight.
Nice.
Gyro light.
Yep, there it is. It's doing its thing.
And I also made the number boards and class lights work.
Separately even. Look at this.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like is I like all the lights to work, and I like them all to be independently controllable. This has a Loc Sound Select decoder in it, which has 6 functions. So it's plenty for this engine. I think I actually only use 5 of them.
Well, it wouldn't be a good video if we didn't get to see it run, too.
Yeah, so we can do that.
It might not be a good video anyway, Dan, but we're trying.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to run as good as it sounds.
Yeah.
Well, it runs well and it sounds good.
Yeah.
I get that well and good thing mixed up once in a while.
Yeah, thanks. So, it's given weathered it a bit too, and tried to follow photos. I noticed the real one had some sort of rusty or paint. I'm not sure if it's rust or orange paint fading through the black. But under the dynamic brake area, so I tried to reproduce that on the model.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, maybe I'll pull a shot of the train run-by from the DCC run-by video and plug it in here, but it looks really great with that whole lash-up of power.
Yeah, I've got 4 of these tunnel motors finished. I have two SP units and a cotton belt plus this one, and they look really good running together.
Yeah. And I remember they sounded pretty good, too, running together.
Yeah, they've all got the same look, sound, select decoder in them, so they run well together and sound good together.
Well, maybe we'll see another model next week that runs good and runs well and sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay, bye.